looking at the Earth, Standard 6 Geography, Part 3. We had completed previous two parts. In that we were trying to understand map, globe, its characteristics. In the second class we were trying to understand scales, types of scales, conversion of scales, importance of maps, and so. Today we will continue with types of maps based on scale. So we have two types of maps, large scale maps and small scale maps. We will check for the direction, that is cardinal and ordinal points. We will see a compass as an instrument. Then we will compare how a compass direction varies or differs from map direction. We will check for conventional signs and symbols, colors, which is a part of legend or key. And then finally we will check for some geographical diagrams which a geographer tries to understand different physical features. So we have the first subtopic, types of maps based on scale. The first type of scale is your large scale map. Now what is a large scale map? Large scale map usually shows smaller areas and they show the maximum details. Now these maximum details provide us, like for example, it is a map of a village showing you settlements, cart tracks, post office, and so. Scale is usually 1 centimeter is equal to 500 meters or half kilometer. Wherein you can also show the river feature. So maximum details are put because the scale is a large scale. A small scale map is a map which shows larger areas, like a map of a country, map of a continent, or map of a state, wherein the details are very less. So if you are checking for a small scale map, a map of India, for example, India political. So political divisions are shown. So states, important towns and cities. You can check a network of roads. So details are put, but then the details are limited. The scale is something like this. 1 centimeter is equal to 200 kilometers. It also shows some important natural and man-made features. Natural features, for example, if physical map of India we are trying to understand, so mountain range Himalayas is shown. So if you are checking for a map of continent of Europe, physical features like you can check for the different mountain ranges like Ural mountain range, then Alps mountain range. So important mountain ranges are shown. So this is an example of large scale map and small scale map. On a large scale map you can see maximum details are put. You can see a hospital, you can see church, you can see settlements, you can see the plots, you can see a park. Okay, you can see the different shades telling you the different base of the map, wherein the green is showing you maybe the vegetation cover, the white patches are showing you the barren land, something like this. On this side of the picture, you have a small scale map which is showing you important cities of this particular place, and you have lesser details. Okay, so small scale map is this and large scale map is this. Another example, here again you have a large scale showing a smaller area, so you can see a metal road, you can see the brown lines, you can see some important figures here. These are the spot heights, and this is an example of small scale where you can see cities as just dots and they are just representing you the important places. So the details are less. So another example of small scale and large scale. So this is a small scale map and a very small portion of this is zoomed and a large scale map is prepared, which is showing you the smaller area with maximum details. So this is a slide showing you the small scale and large scale, how it varies with respect to scale. So the first part of picture, here is a map of USA and the surrounding region. The scale you can check, 1 centimeter is equal to 940 kilometers. Okay. Then you can see the next scale, which is a slightly larger scale, 1 centimeter is equal to 370. So you can see the maximum details here. Then the next scale is 1 centimeter is equal to 160 kilometers. You can see a broader picture of a part of USA, and then the next scale is 1 centimeter is equal to 13 kilometers. So 1 centimeter on the map is 13 kilometers on the ground. You can see the maximum details. You can see the forest park, you can see the metal roads, you can see some important locations here. So this is about the journey showing the small scale towards large scale and large scale maps towards small scale maps. So the next important thing is direction. If You remember in the previous class, we were trying to understand the elements of a map, and one of the important element was direction. So direction, you must have checked if on a map, somewhere in the corner you have an arrow and N is written over there. So that N is pointing out towards north. So once you know the north direction, automatically you come to know the remaining directions. So opposite to north is your south, east is on the right hand side, and west is on the left hand side. Sorry. These are put under two categories. We have cardinal directions and ordinal directions. Cardinal are north, south, east, west, and ordinal are intermediate directions. So northeast between north and east, southeast between south and east, southwest between south and west, and northwest between north and west. Then we have compass as an instrument, very important instrument as far as sailors, navigators, people who go for treks and hikes is concerned. So this instrument serve their purpose. So it has a magnetic needle which usually points out towards the north direction, and accordingly when you are moving to a new place which you have not visited earlier and you don't have any idea about the directions, it helps you to check for the directions and helps you in your the next part of your journey. Compass directions and map directions, how they differ from each other. So the map directions are mostly fixed. They are with respect to your latitudes and longitudes. A very good example to give is about the location of our country, India. It is located between 8 degrees 4 minutes north to 37 degrees 6 minutes north, and 68 degrees 7 minutes east to 97 degrees 25 minutes east. So this is your map direction. Compass direction is more or less relative. For example, place A and place B. This line is trying to show the relative direction between each other. So A is located northwest of B and B is located southeast of A. So this is a relative direction which is understood by compass direction. So we have a set of conventional signs and symbols. The next slide is trying to make us understand. And this is a part of the key. Now these are the symbols which are put on the map which helps us to understand various physical and man-made physical features, natural features and man-made features. So natural features like a stream is shown with a blue color, which is a perennial stream. A dry stream is shown with black color. Some important offices like post office, police station are shown with these initial block letters. Then you can see a fort, church, pagoda, chhatri, mosque, temple having different symbols with a particular color. These colors as a part of legend are put on the map, and any lay person can understand the map, what exactly it is trying to depict. Now why are these symbols or color scheme or signs are made? So that we have less congestion on the map and you can put maximum details. Therefore, it helps us to understand, these symbols help us to understand map in a much detailed manner. Coming towards the geographical representation of geographical features through diagrams. So this is a diagram showing about a part of Fold Mountain, which is having an anticline and syncline. Anticline is your upfold and syncline is your downfold. So definition of syncline and anticline. We are going to study about fold mountains in detail in the chapter Major Landforms. Here we are just trying to understand how diagrams are helping a geographer to understand the physical feature. So another diagram showing you Block Mountain and Rift Valley. Block mountains are also known as, this is a block mountain, which is the elevated portion, is also known as Horst, and the Rift Valley is also known as Graben. The next picture is showing you, or next diagram is telling you the journey of a river with its important features. So you have the source, you have meander, oxbow lake, you have tributaries joining the river, you have delta, estuary, and the mouth of the river where the river is meeting the greater or bigger water body like ocean or sea. Okay, in the first class when we started with the topic, we spoke about important tools and we said maps, globe, sketch and plan are important tools a geographer uses. Of course, the diagrams as well, which we discussed just now. So what is a sketch? Sketch is a rough drawing which makes us understand the guidelines for any particular person to reach a particular destination. And when we are drawing this particular sketch, they are not accurate in distances and they do not have any scale. A very good example of sketch is you are inviting your friend to your house for a birthday party and he doesn't know where is your house located. So you draw a rough sketch from his house to your house with important landmarks, and then you make a sketch. An example of sketch is here. Another example. Next important tool a geographer uses is a plan. Okay, plan is something which is showing a very small area. So, and it is basically something which has a scale, or scale is very mandatory as far as plans are concerned. So therefore they show the correct size and dimension of any particular feature you are trying to show. So it can be a plan of a house, it can be a plan of school building, it can be a plan of a playground, and in any institute or industrial area. So we have a picture of a plan of a house here. Another picture of plan of a school. Okay, a quick recall what we did today. We were trying to understand types of maps based on scale, and we understood large scale maps and small scale maps. We were checking for directions, cardinal and ordinal points. Then we spoke about compass as an instrument. We compared compass direction with map directions. We spoke about some conventional signs and symbols as a part of legend. And then we checked for certain diagrams which a geographer uses to understand the physical features. In the previous class, we had understood certain calculations, and this is what we had done as an example. And this was the homework given to you all. So we'll check for the first one. 1 centimeter is equal to 10 kilometers. So we arrive at this answer. The next one is 1 centimeter is equal to 45 kilometers. And we get the representative fraction in this form. The third one is 1 centimeter is equal to 250 kilometers. The next one is 1 centimeter is equal to 1000 kilometers. The last one is 1 centimeter is equal to 3500 kilometers. Okay, so that was verbal scale to RF, and this is the next example, RF to verbal. So this was the example shown to you, and this was the homework given. So we'll check for the first one. One is to 10 lakhs. After converting to verbal scale, it is 1 centimeter is equal to 10 kilometers. 1 centimeter on the map, 10 kilometers on the ground. One is to 2,50,000. 1 centimeter is equal to 2.5 kilometers. Similarly, the next one, 1 centimeter is equal to 5 kilometers. The next one is 1 centimeter is equal to 4 kilometers. And the last one is 1 centimeter is equal to 7.5 kilometers. Then I spoke about linear scale as well, and we were trying to understand what exactly is a linear scale and how it has to be drawn. So this was a work given to you all, and this is how you need to draw. And the first one is 2 centimeters equal to 10 kilometers. So we are going to draw 2 centimeter interval segments, and then draw a 10 centimeter line. Then you do the primary and the secondary division, and this is how you are going to shade it. The next one was 1 centimeter is equal to 5 kilometers, which is shown like this. Distance of 1 centimeter each, and you place the value of 5, 10, 15 up to whatever stretch you are taking to. The next one was 4 centimeters equal to 4 kilometers. So you draw a segment of 4 centimeters each, and then you divide 0, 4, 8, 12. The next one was 3 centimeters is equal to 6 kilometers. This is how. And the last one, you need to draw 5 centimeter segments, and then the first one will be 0, followed by 15, 30, 45, and so forth. I want you all to check page number 3 and page number 10 of looking at the old chapter geography textbook to check and understand the central idea about the chapter. Thank you.